What you doing?
For clothes.
Folding clothes, I see. Are you enjoying yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet Dad's enjoying himself a little less.
Oh, this is the blast. My
This is your favorite thing to do? Your helper behind you looks less than helpful. No, that one on the ground.
Oh, he's worthless right now.
But where is he always?
Outside.
Or?
On my back hip.
What?
On my back hip.
Yep.
In my back pocket.
So there's a funny thing about life. Sometimes you find yourself doing things that you never thought you would be doing, ever. I spent the evening last night researching how to roof a house and ordered said materials because my little cabin office thing over there needs a roof on it. And I was under the impression that everything needed came in the package. Was not true. You guys sort of know that debacle of missing pieces. Also, due to the Rona, materials are hard to come by. And so the exact shingles I wanted, I couldn't find. So my point is that I've been doing copious amounts of roofing research. I actually know a lot about the process of roofing now and understand all the different pieces that go into it and the whys and all of that. So I ended up finding the shingles at a Home Depot an hour away. I'm not gonna go pick those up today because I don't need them today. The goal today is to finish. We've got one side of the roof up on it. We need to put the other side of the roof up on it and then get the felt paper down over top of that and be able to put the dormer. There's like a little dormer thing that goes on, but we need to get the underlayment for the roof put up before we can get that dormer on. And then we'll be able to get up there and do the roof. Now the concern is that this roof has a pretty steep pitch. I don't know exactly what it is. I need to look in the manual, but my dad is a little concerned that the pitch might be too steep essentially for us to walk on safely and do the roof. However, Ciara and I just had a discussion in the kitchen. We are much more like we will figure it out along the way kind of people. And we're standing there looking at the roof and looking at the pitch of the roof. And I just looked at him and I was like, look, you have a low center of gravity. I feel like if you get up there and you're kind of squatted down, like you're gonna be fine. My dad, no, I don't want to send my dad up there. He's in his 50s. He doesn't need to fall and injure himself. Ciara doesn't need to fall and injure himself. But I feel like Ciara, that's the advantage of being a smaller guy, is he has like a lower center of gravity. So I think he can do it. He and I can do it together. He doesn't want me up there, but I can at least do the stuff that I can reach from the ladder as far as like the starter shingles and stuff like that. The drip edge and stuff like that I can help with. Ciara will probably be the one mainly nailing in the shingles themselves. So my point is that life is full of learning and things that you never thought you'd be doing. There's a lot of things around here that we have done and are working on that I never in a million years would have thought we'd be doing. There's a couple more things that I want to show you, very specifically one thing that one of my children is doing now that you could knock me over with a feather 6 months ago if you would have said one of my kids was going to be doing this. Right now I've got to get to Home Depot and get this order picked up and run inside and grab a few other things that I forgot to add in the order, and back home to complete projects we go. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so excited. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show you this. There's a hawk. He just landed on my fence. Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna tell you the story. It's a red-tailed hawk. Please don't fly away. Let me see you. Let me see you. Look at him. Can you see him? Oh my God. Oh, there he goes. I know this sounds crazy and makes me seem like a total weirdo, but at our old house, we had a hawk that would come and visit me all the time. And yes, he was there to visit me. I know he was. He would come on the play structure, and when I would come out, he wouldn't fly away. He would let me get pretty close to him. And I loved seeing that hawk. It was just, I don't know why, I just loved seeing him. And he would come visit me every once in a while. And then I started thinking as we were moving about all the things that I was going to miss. And one of the things I thought was, oh, I wonder if I'll ever see my hawk friend again before we leave. I'm not kidding you. 2 days, 3 days, before we moved out of that house, one night I was just looking out the front window from the playroom and I saw him fly into the yard and I was like, oh, he's here. And I ran outside with my phone and tried to get him on video, which he did not allow. But it was like he came to say goodbye to me. I know it sounds so stupid, but I felt like he came to say goodbye to me. And I can't believe I might have a new hawk friend here. He's sitting up on the electric wire now. And I'm sure some of you who are like animal people are thinking, sister, that hawk is gonna be after your little animals. But he's, number one, not that big, and number two, we don't have any animals that small at this time. At some point, I might not want him around, I understand that, but right now, it's just like, just a little special something. I don't know, it feels like, it just feels special to me to see him here because I had a hawk friend at our last house and I want a hawk friend at this house. Hello. Hello. You out riding that bike, girl?
Yep.
Working on it, working on it.
Yep.
I'm super excited. We're gonna start working on it without the training wheels soon. We gotta get a helmet before we do that.
Pink.
What? Pink? You want a pink helmet?
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna go up to the park, I think, to do that though, because we need to give you a nice level surface. Yeah?
Yeah.
Ninja's over here. He wears this necklace and headband everywhere. He wore it to get his hair cut too. Let's see, let's show him your fly cut. Did you decide against the lightning bolts? I thought you were gonna do lightning bolts.
No.
You decided not to? Yeah. What's this? Your necklace? Does it do anything special or is it just a necklace?
I'm on. Give me good luck.
And then he wears carabiners on his hands. Basically, I guess this is what, a brass knuckle? What are you gonna do with that? It's for yeah, brass knuckles. Yeah, cool. And then, is that a wooden dowel? What is this? Whoa. Is that a Harry Potter sword or what is it?
It's a real
You touch my lens with it, I'm gonna snap it in half, son. No, haircut looking fly. You didn't do lightning bolts either, huh? You guys decided against it.
tried to. He didn't listen to me.
Oh, he probably forgot. Well, he probably got distracted talking to Daddy. You know how Daddy likes to talk to people. What's this? Oh, it straps your sword on. Very inventive. Very inventive.
I'm the one which I found out.
I
I'm the
know.
one
Jonah, do you think that you're ever going to stop wearing the red headband? Or you think is that here for life? You going to get married in it?
No.
Ew. What are you saying, ew?
I'm never gonna get married.
Oh, you're never going to get married?
Uh-huh.
Well, you should have told me that a long time ago because I already arranged a marriage for you.
Who's it?
Want me to arrange you a marriage too?
No.
I met my dad at Home Depot to make some roofing decisions, and we were not able to make all the roofing decisions we wanted to. So I actually put an Instagram story up because that is the beautiful thing, is that oftentimes when I don't know something, I can't figure it out, I can get on Instagram stories and ask y'all, and some of you guys know stuff about stuff like, it's like obscure things, okay? So I appreciate that some of you, either maybe you yourself know how to roof, or maybe you've got a spouse that does construction, and so I got on Instagram stories and asked, and I'm hoping to get some help and answers that way. But it's always nice to be able to go to the gram sometimes and ask questions. If I really can't figure something out, go to the gram, and I can usually get help. All right, so here's a little update on the cabin, the office cabin. We've got one half of the roof on, and see, the problem that we're having is it's tongue and groove, just like the rest of the building. And then basically what that leaves you is on the inside, you have those beautiful cross beams, if you can see that, and then like the ceiling is that exposed wood ceiling, and we want to leave that intact. And so if we just go out here and put roofing material directly on, paper and asphalt tiles on top of that, when you staple through them or nail through them, it's going to show on the inside part of this ceiling. So that's what we're trying to preserve. That's why we're trying to figure out if the best decision is just to put some plywood or if there's some insulation or something else we can do. It's just a shame because that's expensive to put a whole roof of plywood on both sides of this thing that we don't really need, because that serves as that barrier, but it's just not thick enough for the nails. But things are looking real nice. Sorry, my dad's got the radio on in his truck over there. But things are looking real nice, and I am Pinteresting the heck, trying to make some decisions in here about where I want things to go and how, I want this to look and what I want to paint. And I want to leave a lot of wood, but I'm gonna stain it eventually. So just trying to make some of those decisions. Like, I know I want those beams to stay wood but stained, and I think I'm even going to keep all of this wood but stained, and then I might do white like shiplap walls. I don't know though. Gosh, I love that, but I know that yellow orange, it's gonna turn probably more orangey over time, and then I'm not gonna like it. So right now it's nice and light, and I want it to stay kind of more of a neutral wood tone rather than too cool or too warm. So that's the other thing, is I hope you can kind of see the pitch of the roof. It's pretty steep because you've got a nice tall ceiling in here, which is awesome for me, but not great when it comes to roofing when you've never roofed anything before. This will be our first roofing project. But that's the thing, you know, I mean, I may bite off more than I can chew very often, probably too often, but it's just like my personality is just like, let's just figure it out. Let's just do it. Let's try it. Let's see. I will say this, there are certain things in life that done is better than perfect. If I was engineering a bridge, I wouldn't be like, oh, just figure it out. Okay, there's some things that you should not just figure out. But there are many things that I think we get too caught up in, like, well, I don't know how to do this. And especially if you're a perfectionist and you want the finished product to be perfect, you can bog yourself down in the details of figuring it out. Like, that's kind of how Christopher is. He struggles sometimes to get started with these things because he wants it to be perfect. He wants to go in and know exactly what he's doing. He doesn't like feeling stupid. And I think that that is one of the benefits of growing up with different learning disabilities and things like that that made certain things hard for me as a kid, is that I have become accustomed to feeling stupid. I know that sounds really terrible, but I've become immune to it, if that makes sense. I've gotten to the point where it doesn't bother me like it does some people. I'm okay with not knowing everything. I'm okay with not being the smartest person in the room. I'm okay. So if you're used to being that person, sometimes it can be hard to step back from that and take on something that you might fail at or feel like you're biting off more than you can chew. But if you're somebody who knows failure and who's very familiar with failure, it becomes just part of the process for you. It just becomes something you're like, yep, I'm gonna fail. Like, some of this is not gonna work out, and that's gonna be okay. And you have an easier time being okay with that. So I guess the moral of the story, what I'm trying to say is, like, learning to fail is actually, I think, a really good thing. Learning how to fail successfully. I mean, I know it kind of sounds like an oxymoron, but I feel like the reality is that as long as you're learning something from it, then it's never really a true failure. And for me, it's kind of helped me to see things that I'm capable of that I never would have guessed that I was capable of, and also teaching me my limitations and knowing the things that I cannot do despite the fact that I would like to be able to do them. So hopefully this roofing project gets to go on the list of successes and not failures. I just thought I would show you guys because it's pretty funny. Oh, they're all going to be so loud now. Everybody's down here now. Everybody's down here now. The boy goats have been neutered. Louie and Raymond have been neutered. So the girls can be down there with them. Hi, Pacha. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Speaking of learning new things, though, the very next thing that I have to do is watch some YouTube videos and learn how to clip llama toenails. I was going to try to do that today, but I'm not going to have time. But Cusco in particular, his toenails are pretty bad. And I mean, they both need it. Hi, baby. But Cusco's are pretty bad. So I got the trimmers, the right trimmers for it. Excuse me, sir. But I need to watch some YouTube videos to figure out how to do it. And that's the thing, is like, YouTube, I feel like, is like, originally so many people just used it for like how to do something kind of videos, and so I still very much use it for that, where I search for how to do certain things. Hi, baby. Hi. But yeah, so anyways, everybody's down here now. Boy goats, girl goats, the pigs, everybody. This is so invasive. Just get it all out of your system. Sniff everything. You good? We good now? All right. But, hey! Oh, did you see him jump on him? Cusco's not usually the aggressive. Now we're going to go this direction. Okay. All right. I've honestly not seen them do that before. I see them wrap their necks around each other like the medic alert bracelet, but I don't see them stand up on each other. That was weird. All right, you two. And I bet you they're doing it because of me. They're doing it because I'm down here and they fight over my affection. Oh, boys. But we did get a hay feeder down here for these guys, which I'm super pleased with, because particularly goats don't like to eat hay off the ground. If it gets on the ground, then it's wasted for them. A lot of times they just won't eat it at all. So this is great because it lets everybody reach it. Even the littlest guys, you can see, even the littlest guys can reach it. Hello, girls. Hello, girls. They can reach a lot of what's fallen down. And then this way, Kuzco and Pacha, would you two please pull yourselves together? Enough of the fighting. Anyways, so this new hay feeder is awesome, and it totally serves the purpose. Now, Christopher, so last night I showed Christopher this thing I found on Pinterest for what I want out here is goats in particular do not like to get rained on at all. If it starts raining, they will act like it is acid rain. They can't stand it. And while they have protection from rain on this in the barnyard, they don't have anything really more than tree cover here. I found this really neat thing on Pinterest that this guy had built using like logs and rocks, and then there was like moss and vines, so it like very much sort of blends in to the environment. And that's what I want down here. Is there's a little spot down here in a bunch of trees where Christopher and I are going to attempt to build this cover, so it just gives the animals shade in the summer, a place to go under, and then also just protection from rain. So I want to build that there, like in this little tree area here. And that's also where we want to build some of those little steps that go around the trees for the goats, because the goats love to hop and jump, especially Lottie and Tiana, because they're a little smaller and more agile because they're Nigerian dwarves instead of the boys are crosses between Nigerians and Nubians. And so they're a little bit bigger. What was that? Scared me. So they're a little bit bigger, so they're not quite as agile as the girls are. So I want to give them a lot more. Goats like to get up. They like that elevation and they like to climb. So we want to give them some of that structure back here, and it's really easy to do with a lot of materials we already have and stuff we have just laying around here that we can repurpose. So that's what we're going to try to do, is build them something that we can just like repurpose something else. So I feel like I want to keep walking around the property and showing you guys things, because I have plans for so many things, and projects that are coming up, like the chicken ranch. I'm very excited about the chicken ranch. It's coming very soon because it's January and it'll be chicken time before you know it. I ordered this thing off of Wayfair, I believe, and it has been perfect. We had just the little tray that you put shoes in, and it still just drove me crazy. They were just strewn about everywhere. And this is like, I don't know, with kids, it's like you need a clear indication. Everything goes in here. And it's very obvious. You know, if you just toss your shoes in the cart and one kind of falls out, then it's like, oh, well, it was an accident. This is like, it's in or it's out. There's no halfway. Kids like to find the loopholes and halfway. And this, there's no loopholes. You either remembered to put your shoes in or you didn't. And so I love this thing. I'm super glad we got it. It seems to be a really good quality. Obviously we haven't had it a long time, but I feel like for the price and what I was looking at, I really like this. And I may get another one for the back side of the house as well, because shoes and stuff get stored back there. My biggest concern is the summer when the flies come, because all of our shoes with dirt and manure and stuff like that on them just attract flies like crazy. So I definitely want to solve for that as best as I can. All right, so if you remember before, I told you guys we were going to do the arena over there and the barn over here. Well, then we had this epiphany and we started working on a design for a different layout with the barn. But we don't have exact measurements, and so my dad and I are gonna go take the big measuring wheel. Well, I don't know if that's what it's called. That's a technical name, the measuring wheel. It's round and it measures. It's a measuring wheel. And we're gonna go measure the full perimeter of everything and our placement and our line, so we know how we're measuring this correctly. But we've changed the layout to give ourselves I got two pieces stuffed here together, but to give ourselves a walking path all the way around the property and back to the trails up there. So you'd be able to ride bikes or golf carts or whatever all the way around and then back up through the trails there. So it's a change to what we were doing, but it was kind of like something that we all sat around and went, well, duh, why don't we make everything more accessible if we're going to be redoing all the fencing up here? So we've got to sketch all that out and measure it and then decide on fence or gate placement as well, so we know where those go. Make sure we can get tractors and trucks through. There's just a lot of things to consider, but hopefully we can get this figured out, because I believe the fencing project will start the first week of February. So let's try to do this without horses eating us. Yesterday when we were out here measuring, Jack and Cooper, the mouthy ones, were nibbling on my sweater and chewing on me. These kids are burning a path through around the house on the dang golf cart. While we're just standing here waiting for him to get the measuring wheel, you can see this path here. There used to be a gravel driveway here, so we're hoping to add that back in, the gravel driveway, and then maybe extend it on up to where the garage is going to be, which will be right there. And then we've got my cabin office right here, and I have some really exciting plans for this, and a garden area around it that also kind of attaches it to the backyard area. And the dogs converge. We need all three of your help. These two are playing. As he does not, he's like a big doofus and doesn't know how much bigger he is than Chloe. Thank goodness she's fast. And he just wants to play so bad. And those two just are like, leave me alone. No, she loves it. Look at her. That's how you know she's snapping at him. Get him, Chloe. Get him. She's like, haha, I can fit under. Scratching her back. All right, so I was able just to use Photoshop and some grid paper and basically make each square in the grid represent 10 feet and map everything out. So we'll have our riding and walking path all the way around here. There'll be an 8-foot bridle path that goes around the arena. We'll have the pasture here, the arena here. This is where it goes off into the trails. And then we've got our kind of a seating area we're going to build here with like a fire pit and stuff. This is like the woodsy area that separates the lower pasture. Then you've got the barn right here, which is going to be split because it's got the run-ins. And so we're going to split it so that these are sectioned off like stalls and these are open run-ins for the horses that are in this pasture. So that's why we're placing the barn in the middle and splitting it with the fencing right here. Okay. And then this is where the tack room is currently. This will all be open and free area, which will be great for the kids. And then we're going to have some obstacles here for riding. Maybe eventually do a round pen, but probably just obstacles here. But this totally frees it up for the kids to like ride their bikes along this path. They can go through here and up into the trails, or they can cut through here and go. All of these, I mean, this is a 10-foot wide path around, and this is 8 feet here. So, and obviously way more in here. So it frees everything up. It kind of opens up the space, but still gives us what we need. So I'm going to shoot this over to my mom and hopefully get approval from the boss lady that she thinks my math is correct. And yeah, hopefully we'll be able to finally get things figured out and mapped out with this. It's been a very long process, but it'll be worth it in the end when it's all done. And obviously there's no actual work done. This is just the drawing of it, but at least it makes sense. So yay, go me.